So 2 months ago, my husband wound up in emergency, and we discovered he was having a congestive heart failure. Um, we had got some medicine on board. Things calmed down more or less, and I had a trip planned to Mexico for an art retreat. I went ahead and went on the trip just because I thought it would be perhaps okay. And it turns out it wasn't. A week and a half in, I got a call from my brother-in-law saying, come home, your husband's in the hospital again. And so for the next couple of weeks, he was in and out of emergency 6 times before he was finally admitted. And at that time, they discovered not only was he with congestive heart failure, but he had blood clots on his lungs. So he had to go on this medication in order to dissolve the blood clots, blood thinner. But so he's just been sitting around at home. Meanwhile, I picked up some shit in Mexico and came down really sick with a flu, lost my voice for 4 or 5 days, and I'm really just now starting to come back out of that bit of a setback. And then in the midst of all this, our 15-year-old dog, one of them, got sick one morning, and I took her to the vet in the afternoon. She was coughing and wheezing. They gave her the same thing. They put mic on, Lasix. I woke up in the morning and she was dead at the foot of my bed. I haven't had a chance to even mourn her passage, just because there's just been so much anxiety and stress around what's going on with my husband. And anyway, I haven't been able to write about it. I can't, I don't know what to say about it. I'm scared, all the worst case scenarios run through my head. Oh my God, I'm going to be a widow. I'm not ready for that. I no frame of reference. I no, my person, the one that's had my back for 20 years, my rock, could just be gone, admittedly, this is not what's happening. He's not going to fail immediately. And maybe he's maybe we're in the holding pattern is all I know. And until we know more about the blood clots. But meanwhile, I'm in, getting to address these really big, hard issues of the stage of our lives, and the stage that all of us arrive at if we have long-term relationships and we're over the age of 60. And I'll be 69 next month. He'll be 77. We're in a new ball game, and it's weird. I'll just say, it's just weird and scary, and difficult to assimilate. And yet, I find that I am beginning to adjust to this new reality, and finding that I'm, accessing some coping skills that I have in my toolbox to kind of navigate. But it's up and down from day to day, good days and bad days, and fearful ones and hopeful ones, and all that shit, just all this stuff of being a human in the flesh, in this flesh suit. We're all going to arrive here someday. And, it just seems like, life, birth and death. Nobody is really prepared for how to handle it. Mothers don't know exactly what they're facing when they give birth to children. And we never know exactly what we're facing when our own health or our loved one's health is in trouble. Anyway, I'll get this assimilated, and I'll figure out a way to process and maybe write and share about that at some point. Anyway, that's my story.